Thank you so much for your time. My name is Alan Barnard. I'm a decision scientist. I'm originally from South Africa. That's where the accent is from. I believe you was just in. You've been a couple of times in South Africa.
Yeah.
I have a very simple life goal. I try to help as many people as I can make better, faster decisions when it really, really matters. In my research, we studied why good people make and often repeat bad decisions. I know that this is an area that you're also very passionate about. You know, we waste our scarcest resource, our limited attention. We do all the many things that we shouldn't be doing, all the wrong things. We don't do the few right things. We do the right things wrong. We multitask, we lack focus, and we often repeat bad decisions again. I have a few 100,000 followers and students and clients around the world. And when I have the privilege of interviewing very successful people like yourself, they're always very interested in two things. First of all is, how did you deal with failures in your life? And secondly is, how did you overcome fears and other obstacles with your superpower? So I have just two simple questions for each of you today. The first one is, since you've been successful, have you hit rock bottom, like really, really rock bottom? And if so, what did you pick up while you were down there that you found very useful now to deal with these types in the futures and will be useful for other people? So that's number one question is, have you ever hit rock bottom? And the number two question is, over the time, what do you think is your superpower? What have you discovered to be your superpower? That one thing that energizes you and has helped you to overcome all the fears and the obstacles that we have. You know, Picasso had this beautiful quote. He said, "We find meaning when we discover our gift, and we find purpose when we are giving it away to make a big impact and income." So Caroline, if I can start with you, if you can answer that first question. It's a deep question for early in the morning, but have you ever hit rock bottom since becoming successful? And if so, what did you pick up while you were down there that has been very useful to you?
100%. I probably hit rock bottom when I was 43. I lost I got sued by a civil litigator for 8 years, and it was me or him going bankrupt. You know, I was definitely running out of money for the legal fees, sold my art, my jewelry, you know, everything to make it work. And I also decided to get divorced at the same time. Not because of anything else, but I just decided that, you know, I want, you know, 8 years, you can't decide, you know, put it off till things are perfect, right? So what did I learn? I mean, I learned that I'm very strong and resilient because I was told to settle, or I should settle, and get it over with. And I said, no, I'd rather go all the way, because I'm not going to give, I know I was right, and I know that I'd done nothing wrong, and I won the case. They actually said to me, I spent my 43rd birthday in the Queen's Court. The judge actually said to me that she's very sorry I went through all that, and that it should never have happened, and it should never have got there. And I won all my costs. I won everything back. And what did I learn my superpower was? My superpower is happiness and positivity, because you can't live 8 years being threatened by someone. You know, every time I took a flight, how are you paying for that? Every time your house, I'm going to come and take your home, you know. And I was going through a divorce at the time. So, like, you know, you didn't know what to do with your house, you know, because obviously that I don't want my ex-husband to be punished for a decision that I made, or for being a director of a company I started. It wasn't a decision I made. But when I won everything, you know, you certainly see who is behind you, who wasn't as supportive. And I think, you know, I learned that sometimes the hardest path, even my parents, everybody said, just settle, finish it, get it over and done with, and, you know, move on and remake it. And I was like, no, I'm not going to give that man 1 penny of my hard-earned cash. I'd rather go bankrupt and then let him walk away with anything. And that's what I did. I won, and I feel like I'm a much stronger human. Nothing really scares me because I know, I always say, what's the worst that could happen? Well, the worst never really happens.
Yeah, I
I mean,
think
it did
our
for him.
imagination is much worse. And Sergio, about yourself, have you ever hit rock bottom since becoming successful? And what did you pick up while you were down there that you think could be useful for others?
I would say the moment I hit rock bottom, it was, when I basically worked my whole life to become a professional soccer player and, playing for Real Madrid. And all of a sudden, when I was 18 to 19, things were not going the right way. I was not playing. Even though I was training with the first team, and I was on the top of the game, I was just not happy. And I decided to I broke the contract with Real Madrid, and I kind of lost a lot of money. And it was just a very dark moment because, I couldn't play in Europe. So all of a sudden I transitioned from playing and training with, some of the best players in the world to all of a sudden don't have a team. So I went through a very, very dark time. I think it was, the next kind of like 3 years, so 2.5 years, I was just trying to get back, but I was just never the same. Mentally I was destroyed, because also you are in a bubble, which is Real Madrid, and when you don't realize you're in the bubble until until you are outside. And I realized when I was outside, and then it was just very hard transition, to be honest. And I could say, my faith and my beliefs on myself and my family, they were always there. They were always supportive, and I tried many different things after that. And I managed to get back up, and I think that was rock bottom, and I just managed to find always a way and a reason to be happy. And I could say, like Caroline, we're very, very similar in many different ways, so very positive and always looking at the bright side of things. And I think, no matter how dark the situation could be, it was the best thing that happened to me. Because of that, I am where I am today. And I think, I was always asking myself why I'm not playing, in another team, why I'm not, the same as I used to be. I used to just, come out on the field and just be the best, one of the best. And then all the time, I tried to play in 9 different countries after Real Madrid, and I never managed to just be that version of myself. And I was always trying to ask myself, like, why this is happening to me? And it was because it was not for me,
He was meant to be here with me.
And I was meant to just, just transition, move to the US, get my degree, get involved in soccer somehow, but always, my destiny and path, it was just to meet Caroline, because if I wouldn't be playing soccer, I would never be, I would never be living in Newport Beach, where I was living when I met Caroline. So everything happens for a reason in life. And I understood that later, that, I had that path and destiny already there, and I was pushing because I'm a hustler. I'm a very, I never give up. So I was just pushing and determined. And I literally tried to get back to soccer, in Iceland, in Switzerland, in Italy, in Romania, in the US, and many different teams. And I just was never that version of me, I couldn't make it. I was like, what is happening? Why? Kind of Real Madrid was given to me and it was taken away from me. Like, I don't get it. And then all the time it was because of this, So always my superpower, I think, is just being happy and being grateful for where you are in life and what you have in life. Because there's people that have so much, so much worse than you, in a worse position, but always be happy and grateful.
It's how you react to your surroundings. People that can get over it and can't. I've got tons of girlfriends that collapse and
100%.
And then they're in victim mode, and the world.
And you look at the past always. Don't look at the past. Just listen, things happen.
We never look back.
Just keep going. There's always gonna be a new door. I never thought I was gonna be building a small hotel, which I'm building with Caroline. And we're doing so many things, and I was like, that happened because I was meant to be here doing what I am today, and I'm the happiest I've ever been.
Well, both of you look incredibly happy, and it's so hard in relationships. You've both been through those that are not really good. Relationships are so fragile. We are hurt much more by these, negative events than what we benefit from positive events. Is there some last piece of advice that you can give the viewers and listeners out there in terms of all the relationships that you've been in? What makes this one really special? What helps you? Because all relationships, I'm sure you have arguments from time to time. What helps you to just say, no, this is there's another way of doing this.
Well, we don't really see our lives without each other, so
Exactly.
we're
So
building
there's no any other way, I could say.
Yeah.
Like for us, we just family, you know, it's just not, it's not like, you know, I mean,
we're building for our future. So like, I mean, we're not going to break up. So, you know, we have to get over it. So we just, you know, I mean, he drives me nuts. I want to literally stab him to death.
the same for me. So, you know,
But
like
I don't want to live without him either. So, you know, and I think
when you have that and you find that connection, that kind of like, you know, energy, you know, it's just you know, it's kind of like a soulmate friendship.
we
you
both
know?
hate dating. We're too lazy to get back on the dating.
Yeah, it's like a whole thing. So you
The
just
whole
don't want to
thing.
do it. Yeah.
No, we hear about it from our single friends and we're like, okay, no,
Yeah.
it's not for me.
It
No,
does
I don't-
suck. Thank you
time
so
go
much.
out, oh my God.
I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Keep on inspiring everybody out there. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Take
much.
care.
Take care. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.